not makeup, and not high heels. 3 things that a man first pays attention to on a first date. In this video, we'll talk about the important things that really catch the eye on a first date. About the important things that remain in a man's feelings after meeting a woman. What a man really looks at and what catches his attention, that's what we'll be discussing in my video. So, in order. And the first thing is, energy and confidence are things you can't fake, things you can't pretend to have. It's what you have, and it's what you need to work on. What is confidence? Confidence is when a woman understands herself, when a woman knows herself well. She knows what she loves, what brings her pleasure. She knows what she wants, and that's what makes up a woman. That is, a woman who doesn't borrow something from other women, doesn't imitate, doesn't repeat. She studies her nature and understanding who she is. She explores her own light, her confidence, and that is very captivating. Therefore, if you realize that confidence is not your strong suit, you need to work on it. You need to study yourself, listen to yourself, understand what brings you pleasure, what uplifts you, what makes you happier. And that's when that unique, inimitable image is created. And energy comes into play here as well. Every person emits their own kind of energy, meaning there is something within them. A successful person radiates an energy of success. A person who is suffering, unhappy, and fixated on certain problems emits this sadness. And naturally, people who often like to suffer tend to remain alone because no one wants to come and pull them out of that state, to save them, to drag them out by the years. Everyone wants to share something, to receive something, and to give something. So energy and confidence are the important things that a man will notice first. Perhaps it's even unconscious. Maybe he doesn't even think about it, but he will feel it and he will either be attracted or decide not to continue the date. This also includes posture and body language. That is, naturally, a competent woman carries herself differently. She behaves differently. She emits this aura that she knows herself, she understands herself, she feels herself, she is confident in herself. And she is perceived by a man as very beautiful, very pleasant, and he likes. That he feels. Eye contact again, meaning she is not afraid to look him in the eyes. She doesn't look down at the floor. Laughter and a smile are what incredibly bring people closer on first dates. And again, this relates to confidence. If you are tense, if you don't understand yourself, don't know yourself, you don't know what brings you pleasure, you don't know how to behave and communicate with other people, with men, you will be tense, of course, at certain moments. A man will not understand what kind of personality you are, what kind of person you are. Therefore, if you feel confident, if you laugh at some jokes, if you smile, if you have eye contact, it will definitely make a man think about you. The ability to be yourself. I've already talked about this. This is how confidence is manifested. If a woman knows herself, she knows how to be herself. And naturally, she is genuine. And she is confident. And this sincerity is perceived instantly. For a man, it is. Understandable. For a man, it is attractive. And he wants to continue communicating. And also what is perceived by a man as energy and confidence. It is. A reliable partner is a woman who is confident in herself, from whom a certain energy emanates that a man likes. He perceives this woman as a reliable partner, and he wants to continue the communication. So this is the first and, let's say, the main thing that a man pays attention to, and from which your further communication will develop. The next point is genuine interest and involvement. If you know how to listen, if you know how to ask leading questions, the right questions, that is, a man tells you something, he shares something, and when he develops this topic, you clarify, ask some leading questions, perhaps help him with questions to reveal the story he is telling you. Perhaps he is telling you about something important to him, something significant for him, something serious for him. He sees your involvement, he sees your interest. You ask leading questions, and this greatly appeals to the man. He really likes what is happening with him right now, because his interest what is important is also important to another person, and he already perceives this communication with you as something unifying. In other words, you are like one whole, like people who can move in the same direction. He really likes it. He feels more confident. He feels interesting to you. He understands that with you, specifically with you, he can be himself and reveal his sides because he doesn't see any possible mockery from you. He doesn't see an uninterested look. He sees interest. There are women who can devalue everything a man presents with just one word. And such a woman, she, greatly damages a man's self-esteem. So if a man, let's say, who understands what he wants from life, meets such a woman who instantly tries to devalue, he will avoid her because he is already hoping for a different kind of connection in his relationships. He wants to be understood. And here, the man is important and significant. In such communication, there is a trusting atmosphere, and he feels special. And for a man, feeling special next to a woman is very important. Next, compatibility and common interests. When people feel comfortable with each other, that is, when two people, while communicating, understand that, in principle, they are moving in the same direction. That is, he dreams, for example, of a big family, and she has always dreamed of having, say, 5 children. But if you are talking and the man, for example, tells you about the values of family and the importance of children and continuing the lineage for him, and you say that you are not planning to be a mother, then that is the very incompatibility. But when a man communicates with a woman and realizes that you are on the same wavelength, meaning shared interests, shared goals, some shared aspirations, you like certain things, the same ones, for example, you drink the same coffee, and even small moments, such connections in communication, they show the man that this is his woman, meaning that they are in one direction. But if a woman conveys that she is different, the man says something and she, for example, doesn't like it, she voices it, he talks about his dream, she devalues it and says that it's not a dream, for example, a dream. In reality, it's this and that. Then the man, listening to such a woman, understands that she is not for him. But if there is a commonality, it's like the foundation of long-term relationships, and the man instantly picks up on this, meaning he understands that with this woman, I can go into a long-term relationship. In other words, this woman is not for 1 or 2 dates, but with her, you can build a relationship. With such a woman, it will be very easy for a man to communicate. Moreover, a man who perhaps has never been sociable, when meeting, for example, a woman with whom he understands they are moving in the same direction, meaning they are very similar, he can open up and he can become, for example, very sociable. That is, all his friends later say that he was a quiet person, but you understand that he tells you something crazy. This is also an indicator that a man opens up around a woman, and the man likes how he opens up. He won't let go of such a woman. That's all I have for this video. This was Elisa Vardomskaya with you. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Bye. Write in the comments what you would like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell. Goodbye.